What's up, coconuts? It's Eliza, and one of the things I'm going to be talking about on this channel is mental health, because mental health plays such a big role in your overall well-being, and that's exactly what this channel is all about. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my personal experience growing up with and living with Tourette syndrome. You might be wondering, wait, what, Tourette's? You don't look like you have that. And I know, and that's for a few reasons, which I'll get into later in this video. But yeah, I wanted to make this video now because May 15th through June 15th is actually Tourette's Awareness Month. So I just kind of wanted to make this video to share my experience with it. I was diagnosed with Tourette's in early childhood. I was probably around 8 or 9 years old, which is a pretty typical age. Most people are diagnosed around that time. And my tics started, the very first one I can remember was a grunting tic, or it kind of sounded like I was purring. It was a noise I did in the back of my throat. Here, let me see if I can do it for the camera. I don't know if you could hear that or not. It's not super loud, but it was definitely loud enough to be a problem in school, and it was loud enough for kids to not be super nice about it. Some other tics that I had in childhood were like a hair brushing or hair flicking, a lot of blinking tics, like this kind of thing or like that. A lot of eye rolling. I also had a tic where I would kind of seize up my torso, like my head, neck, and chest. I would just clench all those muscles really, really tight. Yeah, so those were the main ones I had in childhood. Throughout my whole life with Tourette's, my tics have come and gone. The severity has come and gone. Sometimes I'll have like a year where I don't really have many tics at all, and then I'll have like a year where I have a ton of tics and they're really bad. And it's just kind of come and gone with time. The tics that I have currently are two predominant ones. One is tongue clicking, and I kind of raise my head when I do it, so I go like that. And then the other main tic that I have is like hand flexing, where I kind of, here, let me sit back so you can see. So what I do, I call it Spider-Man, because I kind of go like that, and I flex my hands outwards, and I keep these two fingers curled in. I usually just do it with one hand at a time, but yeah, sometimes I flex them like that, sometimes I flex them in, sometimes kind of out to the side, and sometimes I shake them too. I'll go like that or like that. Oh, there's another tic that I still do, which remember how I mentioned I did like that full body seize up when I was a kid? Now I do a much more subtle version of that, where I pretty much just clench up the muscles in the back of my neck. So this tic is pretty much not noticeable to anyone. Like, I just did it and you probably couldn't even tell. Kind of gives me the relief from the urge to do the full body seize. So yeah, it's those main three, the tongue clicking, the hands, and then the back of the neck. And those are the ones that I've had recently. I've been dealing with those for pretty bad for about the last year, and my tics have definitely gotten worse in about the last year to a year and a half. And I would guess it's probably because of the stress of moving to LA, and Tourette's is definitely influenced by stress. So hopefully once I kind of get into more of a groove and I'm a little bit more in a stable place in my life, they'll get better, but that doesn't seem like it'll be happening anytime soon, so I'm just kind of dealing with it now. So now I guess I'll talk about kind of why I haven't talked about this on social media, and also why my tics have never really been noticeable in my videos. They have never been noticeable in my videos for a few reasons. One of which is that people with Tourette's generally notice their symptoms reducing over time. Generally, as you get older, the tics get better. They get easier to control, or they just completely go away. So as I've gotten older, my tics have not gone away, but they have definitely gotten easier to control. The other reason that they're not super noticeable on social media is because when I'm making videos, it's occupying my whole being. All my attention is focused on doing this. I'm not thinking about anything else. I'm not doing anything else. And for a lot of people with Tourette's, when they are fully engaged in an activity that occupies mind and body, like acting or sport or something like that, generally their tics do get better. And the other reason is, of course, the beauty of editing. You know, sometimes when I have made a tic during a video, I've just edited it out. And I haven't done that because I'm embarrassed or anything like that. I just haven't really wanted to talk about it on social media. But yeah, I just kind of decided that, you know, because I have this new channel, which is all about holistic living and, you know, embracing yourself and loving who you are and whatnot, I wanted to make this video just to kind of share this thing that I've dealt with forever, and maybe, you know, it could like inspire someone else, or I don't know. I decided I was comfortable talking about it, so I wanted to make this video. So next thing I want to talk about is what Tourette's is like. I usually compare it to an itch. Basically, when I feel the urge to tick, let's say it's like this one, the eye rolling tick, it starts to like build up. I feel it building up like behind my eyes almost, or if I'm doing like the Spider-Man, I feel it building up like in my wrist that I want to do it. And it just like keeps building, and it's like an overpowering urge to do the thing. And I know that if I do the thing, the relief will be instantaneous. It'll be like scratching the itch, but then it builds up again. So that's pretty much how I would describe the way it feels. If there's anyone out there watching this who's young, super young, and has Tourette's, like if you're coming from Musically, you're probably pretty young. And if you're struggling with that, just know that Tourette's is something that not a lot of people have. Now I look at it as something that makes me unique, and I actually like kind of embrace it. I like talking to people about it, and when people ask about it, I'm more than happy to tell them my experience with it and what it's like having it. I didn't really make this video because I was wanting to like say how you can fix your Tourette's or anything like that. I just wanted to share sort of my experience with it and hopefully like help someone out there who might be feeling alienated or alone because of it. So that was why I wanted to make this video, just a little short, sweet something. If you do have any questions about Tourette's, I'll put links to some resources down in the description, and you can also post in the comments. I'm more than happy to answer anything, or you can DM me on Instagram at Eliza Coconut if you have any further questions about Tourette's. I have no problem answering them. So yeah, that's my little Tourette's journey, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!